So I want to briefly show you how to drop ship on Poshmark using ZeeDrop from sites like Amazon, Walmart, etc. Really any website that obviously fits the shipping parameters and will get the products to you fast. But obviously for the majority of beginners, I typically recommend Amazon using Amazon Prime and Walmart using Walmart Plus, at least in the beginning to build the base of your store, right? So I'm going to show you a tutorial here of how to use ZeeDrop. ZeeDrop is a software I've been using for 5-6 years now. It's great. If you want ZeeDrop, you can go to ZeeDrop.com. That is ZeeDrop.com. Sign up for it here. It's $17 a month, but honestly, it is so worth it. If you dropship on other platforms like Facebook Marketplace or anywhere like that, then obviously it's also going to help you copy and paste addresses a lot faster, which saves you so much time when you're processing orders. But the majority of you are just going to be focused on the buttons here that comes with it. So that's going to help you copy listings so much faster to sites like Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, you name it, okay? So it literally in just a few seconds copies the title, the description, the pictures, and marks the price up a certain amount that you set, right? So once you sign up for ZeeDrop and you install it, you'll be able to sign in here. The first thing that you want to do is come into your settings and actually set it up, right? So you can see I have my profit margin set to 75%. You could set this to whatever you want. Obviously, you want to account for marking the product up so you're making money. You also want to account for any offers that you plan on actually making on the product, right? And you also want to account for any of the site fees, okay? So Poshmark, which we're going to be dropshipping here specifically, has the highest fees of any platform. That's why I have it marked up to 75%. I also have an offer bot that goes through and makes offers to likers at discounts. So I need to mark it up to account for any of the offers. So if my offer bot makes an offer, I don't lose money on a sale, right? You can mark this up 60%, 50%, 40% if you don't plan on making offers. I typically mark them up higher because I'd rather make more money in less sales than more sales, more work, and the same money. But this is just what works for me. Again, you could play around with this, mark them up higher or lower based on what you want. I'd recommend on Poshmark at least 60%, especially when you're starting, right? Now, you can set up the profit percentage or the profit amount if you want that per sale. I always go profit percentage here. So if we unclick that, go back into settings, you'll see it's set to 75%. I don't ever really put custom templates. You can play around with that if you want. I used to do that a lot on Facebook Marketplace when I dropship there. I don't do that on Poshmark or Mercari or anything like that. I literally just have a copy over the actual description, and then I make sure that there's nothing in the description, all right? Now, for quantity, I typically always recommend to set this to 10. You don't want it to have a quantity of 1 or 2 or 3, so that if you get a sale or two really quickly, then you're out of stock on that product and you don't even know it. So you want a decent amount of your quantity, but you also don't want to make your quantity like 100 or 1,000, because that's going to look a little bit shady. It's also going to increase the amount on your store very quickly, so it'll show like their average revenue that you have in stock. If you're having like billions in revenue because your quantity is like 100 every time, that's going to be a red flag, in my opinion. So keep this at 10. That's what I recommend. You could also go 5 or anywhere in between if you want, right? Now, we're going to come back to talk about the run bulk feature here after I actually show you how to list here a few times. But if in the future you want to run bulk, just remember you can't run bulk on anything. You have to come back into your settings and switch what the actual store is that you want to run bulk on, okay? All run bulk does is instead of copying it one at a time, it lets you copy listings, 5, 10, 50, 100 at a time. But again, I'm going to show you that here in a second. Don't worry about selecting the country. Don't worry about running the monitor. I don't use that for this. I don't monitor any of my stock levels, so you don't really need to worry about that. Now, obviously, we're not dropshipping on Facebook here, but if you were dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace, you could set up your templates here. So hide from friends, automatically publish. You get the picture. And you can see as you scroll through, different stores have different settings that you can actually set up templates for, right? So if you're dropshipping on any one of those, then obviously you'd want to go through and make sure that you're doing those settings. But we are not. So what you want to do is you want to come down here and you want to go to show/hide buttons. And this makes it really easy to show what buttons and what stores you want to copy to, right? So if you want to copy Amazon listings to Poshmark, for example, well, make sure that Poshmark is clicked here. As you can see, Poshmark is clicked. I have all these stores clicked because I actually dropship on and list to all of these. And ZeeDrop integrates with every one of these stores if you have it clicked, right? But if you don't want to jumble up your feed, so obviously you can see all these buttons, or you're just focused on dropshipping on Poshmark, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace, whatever the case is, then just select those buttons. It's going to make your life a lot easier because it's not going to confuse you or your virtual assistant if you ever decide to hire and outsource in the future, right? So that's the run of how to set up the settings. Again, all the buttons to where you want to drop ship from based on the actual stores that you're listing on. And then the basics are just set your profit, set your quantity, and then come back over on the bulk feature after I show you 1 or 2 listings, right? So once you set it up, it's just as easy as being on the listing, whether it's Walmart, whether it's Amazon, where it's wherever. If you need to know the actual sites that ZeeDrop integrates with, just go to ZeeDrop.com. You see that they support all of these marketplaces. As you can see, Poshmark is on here. It also supports all of these, so you can copy from any of the sites. I'll show you them here in a second, of the hundreds of sites that they actually copy products from, to any of the marketplaces that they copy products to. So you could take any of these. For example, you could copy IKEA to Poshmark. You could copy IKEA to Mercari, IKEA to eBay, IKEA to Facebook, IKEA to Shopify. You get the picture, right? You could also copy Kmart to any one of those. So you can copy any one of these stores to any one of those marketplaces. It is a game changer. You just need to make sure that you're on the listing on one of the websites that it lets you, and obviously have this button checked off in the back end of your settings in ZeeDrop, and you can copy those products, right? And it's just going to copy the title, like I said, the description, the pictures, and mark the price up automatically based on what you set that percentage to be when you set up your settings. Again, I did 75%. So let's go to a listing here. Obviously, you want to do product research, and you want to make sure that you're listing hot, in-demand products. But then it's really easy, right? You're just going to click the copy to Poshmark button, let it run. It's going to bring Poshmark up automatically. Obviously, you need to be signed into that website already, so sign into your Poshmark account. You'll see it pops up with a paste by ZeeDrop. Click paste by ZeeDrop. It's going to take 10 to 15 seconds roughly to copy everything over. You can see it copies everything else fast, and then it copies the picture a little bit slower, so give it like 10, 15 seconds per listing. As soon as the pictures pop up, then you can accept them, and then you know you're ready to move through and edit the listing. So there we go, the pictures. You can obviously make sure the best picture's in the front. If you want to switch up the picture, you just drag it as the actual picture right here with the check mark, apply it, or you could also drag them here later on. And then you just want to go through and you want to edit everything around, right? So you need to take 45 characters out of this title because it can't be greater than 80 characters. So I'm going to cap it at 10 right there. You will be slow in the beginning when you don't know how to actually go through and make these listings a little bit easier. But as you do a few of them, you'll get very quick at it very fast. Like I can probably list manually copying from like Amazon or Walmart to Poshmark realistically in like 30 seconds a listing. You just have to kind of know what to look for and be very quick at it, and Poshmark helps you do that. So does the bulk feature. I'll show you that shortly. And then you just want to make sure that anything in the description isn't giving any money back guarantees, any brand information for that actual brand, or any warranty information or anything like that. Now, typically speaking on Amazon, that's going to be the last bullet point most of the time, not always, but most of the time. So just take a look at the actual description. Obviously, check to make sure that there's no warranty, no brand information, no money back guarantees, nothing about it being an Amazon product. And then if not, you're good. Just keep everything else in there and delete all the things that you need to out of the description. Category, you just categorize it. So what is this? Obviously, it's a sign. So just find the best category. Again, you will be slower at finding categories in the beginning, but as you do 5, 10, 15 products, you will know immediately, oh, it's this category, and how to find them so much faster. So you will be slow in the beginning. That is fine. You will get faster, I promise you. This is like second nature now. I can list on all these platforms super fast. So this is a tin sign. You could put it in other. You could put it in home, wall decor, other. You get the picture. I'm probably going to choose wall decor here, and we'll say art and decals. Now, multi-item, I always say 10. Is this new with tags since we're drop shipping new products? Obviously it is. The brand, if you're drop shipping third-party products from Amazon, I wouldn't worry about putting the brand in. The only time you want to put the brand in is if it's a popular, recognizable brand and you're reselling most of the time, because then it's going to bring eyes to that listing because it's a popular brand, right? Nike, Adidas, DeWalt, stuff like that. But if you're drop shipping a product with a popular brand name, you probably don't want to put the brand name in there because then people are just going to price check it on other websites. So most of the time I leave the brand blank. I also typically leave the color blank, although if it's something specific where you're drop shipping clothing on Poshmark or something of the sort, you could obviously add the color. That's going to help increase your conversion rate, help give the buyer more information about the product, and help decrease the friction to the sale. Now, tags, you always want to put tags in here. So what is this? It's a sign, it's decor. And if you need ideas for the keywords to put in there, you can just look through the description or the title and find what to actually put, right? So I'm going to say Halloween is another one. It doesn't just have to be like one keyword as well. You can put multiple keywords. So you could have Halloween sign, enter, and then your keyword would be Halloween sign. So anytime someone types Halloween sign in, yours is going to have a higher likelihood to pop up. You get the picture, right? Now, original price and listing price, I always put original price at 0, and I put the listing price based on what it marks up at, right? Because it's going to mark both of those up. You can see this is $8 on Amazon. It marked it up 75%, which is $14. Another rule of thumb for me is if it's always, I tell my VAs this as well, in the beginning, you will not have a VA. You won't be outsourcing any of the listing. You're going to be doing this yourself. It's going to go so fast with the bulk feature. But as a rule of thumb, I typically put the listing price, if it's under $25, just to make an extra markup on the profit, because I don't want to do the legwork for like $3 or like $2 often. I'll always put anything that's under $25 as the listing price after ZeeDrop marks it up to $25 minimum. I don't sell anything under 25 unless I'm getting an offer or my offer bot is making an offer. That's the only time where I'll actually accept something lower than that. And then we just list, right? I always keep the original price 0 and the listing price at what I actually want it to be. I find that looks better. Some people try to actually put the original price higher and the listing price lower. What that does is it puts the price on the listing, crosses it out, and makes it look like $25 is the sale going on. I find that it doesn't increase conversion rate. It actually has the opposite effect. So I like the clean look of having 0 as the original price, so it doesn't look like it's on sale. This is the price of the item. It's brand new. This is what it's worth. And then obviously let your offer bot do the work. Let your share bot do the work so that you're getting more sales. List the item. If it pops up with any warning here, perfect example, fragile item detected, oversized item detected, just publish the listing anyway. Don't worry about it. And there you go. We listed our first item, right? So let's list one more, and then I'll show you how the actual bulk lister works. So copy to Poshmark. There it goes. It copies to Poshmark. As soon as the paste button pops up here, we'll paste by ZeeDrop. Give it 10, 15 seconds to copy over. And then as soon as the pictures pop up, we know it's fully copied, and we can just add the pictures and then move on to editing the listing. There we go. Now apply them. Again, make sure the best picture's in the front. First thing we're going to do is come down here and edit the title. I typically take the brand name out. So if there's a brand name in the beginning, as you can see, Goose right there, I'll take that out. We'll start taking out some here at the title. So there we go. Title done. Now again, you're going to want to go through the actual description and make sure that there's no warranty, brand information, anything about it selling on Amazon, any money back guarantees. As long as there's nothing in there, you can obviously keep the majority of it. Just read through really quickly. Make sure all that's not in there. So if it's a description like this, where obviously A, we're way over the actual character limit of 1,500, and we need to take a bunch out. But B, a lot of this won't really help you typically make more sales. Obviously, the more keywords in there, the higher likelihood it's going to show up for a number of things. But typically speaking, the actual main description is going to be good, so I'll delete all that. Obviously, the last bullet point here has nothing about brand warranty or money back guarantee, so we're good. Then we're going to list this. So this is home decor. I'm going to say holiday because it's holiday decor, and there we listed it, right? And there we categorized it. Now, multi-item, 10. If it's obviously a clothing item, then you want to add another size, put like small, medium, whatever the size availability is. I typically avoid myself clothing items, although clothing items sell well on Poshmark. That's because I have a VA that does it full-time every single day, so they'll list the clothing items for me, but obviously that's going to take a little bit more time. Clothes are a great thing to get into. They do take a little bit longer to list because obviously you had to add the variations and the sizes, but they do sell well on Poshmark as well, so play around with what works best for you and what's the best allocation of your time. In the beginning, you probably don't want to do clothes if you're trying to get to that $1,000 a month mark, but again, once you get there, by all means, start adding clothes. Outsource to a virtual assistant to list for you. But that's something that we can talk about once you get there as the next step. Let's get you to that 1,000 first. New with tags, yes. Add this item to your boutique, yes. Brand, again, we always keep that blank most of the time. You probably will too most of the time. Color, you could add it if you want to, but again, I keep that blank most of the time. This is a spider. It's a Halloween decoration. And we'll look for one more keyword in the actual listing. So inflatable or yard blow up is a good one as well. There we go. Original price is going to be 0. I'm going to leave the listing price 47 because it already marked it up 75% from 27 to 47. So obviously there's that built-in price there, right? It also tells you what you're going to make after all the Poshmark fees are taken out if you sell it at $47. So you know that if you sell this at $47, you're going to make $37.60. You're going to buy it from Amazon at $27. So you will be making a little bit over $10 if you sell this on Poshmark. And that is how you list on Poshmark with ZeeDrop. It is that simple, okay? So now let me show you how the bulk list feature works. So the bulk list feature is going to save you so much time. It's going to list all these products really quickly, so you don't have to wait here as they're listing. click one over to list it, and then click paste by ZeeDrop, wait 15 seconds for it to list the actual pictures, and then click and go through it, right? The bulk list feature is going to actually pop them all up on Poshmark for you automatically. You need to obviously give it the time to list, but the benefit of it is you can go off and do something else in your business. You can go off and eat lunch. You could take a walk. Whatever the case is, you can move about your life, come back 20, 30 minutes later, depending on how many listings you actually added to your bulk list, and then it will do it all for you. And then you just need to come back. You can X out of all the Amazon tabs and then edit each listing just like you would have before, but now you can edit them all in once instead of waiting for them all to copy. It's a game changer, okay? So to add the bulk list feature, again, we need to go back into settings to make sure that we haven't changed it to Facebook Marketplace or Mercari. If you wanted a bulk list there, you would, again, just change the settings. So go back to settings, go to the run bulk / multiple listings here, and make sure whatever store that you actually want to run bulk on is selected there, okay? So we want to list it on Poshmark, so make sure it's checked. It is. And then when you're done, obviously, one thing I forgot to say is make sure that you save your button status right here with this button and save this after you change it. Otherwise, it will just go back to the default. So save your button status after you obviously select which stores you want the buttons to be, whichever the blue ones are. Save your button status. Whenever you make a change to the percentage, or in this case, the run bulk feature or whatever, so it saves it to your actual settings, and then you're good to go. If you don't save it, it will just go back to the default, okay? So now that we've changed the actual bulk feature to do it for Poshmark, now we can go back to these, and now instead of copying to Poshmark, we are going to save them to the bulk list, okay? And the bulk list is going to be up here on ZeeDrop. If you go to ZeeDrop and bulk, there we go. There's 2 in the bulk list already. So we're going to save to the bulk list. There we go. Let it work. As soon as the pictures go, it's saved to the bulk list. Now, if we come back to the bulk list, you can see there's 3 in there with this product in there now. X out of that. And now we're going to save all of these to the bulk list if we wanted just the bulk to do it for us. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. And you can do this with 10 products, 20 products, 50 products. I typically don't recommend people go over 50 products, obviously, because sometimes it can lag out. So the magic number is roughly 50 products, but obviously you could try it a little bit further if you wanted to go a little bit further than that. But listing 50 products at a time is going to be very quickly. With that, you can get a few hundred products up in a day if you really want to get it done, or even 1,000, honestly, if you're really kind of working through it. And get a lot of products very quickly and make some decent money, assuming you're sharing and listing good products, of course. But this is going to change the game for you because you can list products so much faster now, right? So now if I want to actually run the bulk list, you can see it added all of those products to it. I'm going to come back, select all, and then run the bulk list. I'm going to show you that here in a second, actually running and how you can edit it. But keep in mind, every single time you want to add new products to a bulk list, after you list all those, come back and delete all the products in this bulk list, right? By clicking the actual trash bin next to it, and then it will delete that product. There you saw that disappeared. Delete that product. There you saw it disappeared, right? So I want to list these all in bulk. I'm going to select them all and then run bulk and just go about my life, right? As soon as I click run bulk, you see it go. It's going to start listing the product by copying the first item in the bulk list to Poshmark. And the benefit is I don't need to be here doing this myself. It's going to do it all for me. And then again, leave the Poshmark windows up with all the information and all the pictures and the markup there. So I can just come back when I'm ready, edit everything around like I showed you before, submit the listing. It goes so much faster that way. All right, guys. So use this. It's going to change the game for you. This is how you drop ship products from Amazon, Walmart, eBay, Etsy, wherever, on the Poshmark, on the Facebook Marketplace, on wherever. Again, just check ZeeDrop. If it fits with that website to that website, you can list it. Hope it helps.